Season 2, Episode 2 of 1923 is a slow-going episode. Nothing much happens once again, as the journey still continues for Spencer, and we see a lot of focus on Jacob. Now, the episode starts over with a voiceover of Elsa Dutton talking about the winter, and then we go into another scene where we see Banner and Whitfield talking in a car and speaking. And then Whitfield says to stop, and he sees someone skiing. 3 people skiing down a mountain. He then goes to visit them and kind of has this idea and epiphany that he can make money off of it. And Bannon just looks at him and is like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Whitfield is always one step ahead, and that's the interesting thing about Timothy Dalton's character, the aspect of wanting more when he already has enough of it. We then see Jacob and the sheriff go into the courthouse to speak with the judge. They meet the judge and kind of with the people versus Davis. You all know the story with that, what happened in season 1, and he wants his own man back, and the flapper, or what they call it, then the kids, and they go to the hospital, they take him back, and then they trek through the storm. They don't want to wait in town, they want to go through it and get to the ranch. Well, that's not the case. They don't do that. They are in the brunt of the storm, winds blowing, snow's going everywhere. It's a literal whiteout blizzard. They have to turn the wagon over, and everyone has to get into the wagon to huddle. We then see the aspect of how things are going slowly. We then see the marshal and the priest who are hunting Tanoa rainwater. We then see them go to Oklahoma. They make it to Oklahoma, and they want to find out where Tanoa rainwater is. And then they meet the sheriff of this town in Oklahoma. We see the cameo appearance by Jennifer Carpenter, who you know from Dexter, plays the sheriff. It's a kind of back and forth with the sheriff, who is so one-sided on his views and ways. He's just an asshole that's so annoying. And it's just like, okay, this progresses, this moves forward. And it's like, oh, all right. We then see Spencer Dutton finally. He's not really prominent in this episode. Finally makes it to land. He meets Luca's, I guess, uncle, cousin, or whatever it is. The Italian bootlegging thing is happening. It's in Galveston. If you don't really know where it is, when we see Spencer walking up to the shore, it's like a little thing that says Galveston, Texas. So he is in America. He's in Galveston. We know that's happening. And then he kind of beats up the right-hand man and kind of gets the shit kicked out of him for going against Luca's, uncle or friend, whoever that may be, and kind of, tells him, like, listen, my family needs me in Montana. And so then near the end, we see Luca and Spencer have to go on a mission to bootleg across the states and so forth. And we then see Banner now in the saloon waiting out the storm. He speaks with another sheriff, and basically Banner tells him that I'm really scared of Whitfield. He sees right through us, and it's like, what is going on? Then we see an ambush happen on the sheriff and the priest, where the sheriffs or the marshal, whoever it is, and the marshal is hit by an arrow from the Native Americans. They come out, they shoot, and then it's like, oh, the priest just starts firing like crazy. It's a really interesting scene. And we see Alex on the ship getting to America, but it's just a rocky ride. She's in the boiler room area with all the passengers, and it's just a rocky ride going back and forth. People getting sick, they don't know what to do. Then there's another voiceover with Alex. And the last scene is the same as the very last scene in episode 1, where we see Helen Mirren's character of Cara Dutton. She's sleeping, and all of a sudden she hears something. And all of a sudden a wolf now. At first episode it was a jaguar. Second, now it's a wolf. She shoots the wolf dead after the wolf attacks a nurse. And it's just like, oh okay, what's happening? And that's the end of the episode. Really, really interesting progression of this show so far in the series. Once again, I will say Taylor Sheridan wrote every single 8 episode. I love the shows that he does, but he needs a writer's room. He can't be locked away in part of his house, wherever he is, and where he writes in his writer's room, and just bangs out 8 episodes all for 8 hours. I mean, granted, some writers can do that, but when you have one person writing all 8 episodes, it's kind of good, but then it's not, because then you're also doing other 8 shows. Or, you're doing other 8 episodes for another show. And it's just crazy. For some reason, Palestine and Israel was mentioned in the voiceover as Cara Dutton trying to figure out the aspect of what's going on, and then she shoots the wolf. Didn't make sense at all. I don't know. There's a lot of modern talk about racism, races marrying into one another, and it's just like, okay, we understand, like, this is the now, but then back then it also happened. Maybe Taylor Sheridan has an idea where he's going with this, but once again, it's another slow going episode. I do like where it's going. Harrison Ford as Jacob really pushes the narrative of this show. It's the reason why I'm watching it. And then seeing the character of Spencer Dutton as well, especially with Brandon Sklenar, who plays Spencer Dutton. Really badass, really in your face, really done well. And his adventure is still going. A lot of people said he won't make it home until episode 6 or 7. I hope that's not the case, because then episode 8 is the series finale, so just have to wait and see to find out, I guess. But not a bad episode. Could have been better. Hopefully it pushes the boundary and gets going and moves forward a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see to find out. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about Season 2, Episode 2 of 1923. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What did you think about the story aspect? Did you like how this episode went? And what are you looking forward to in the next few episodes? And what do you think will happen? Let me know in the comment section about all the questions I just asked. I'm Mr. Filmstock. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week to my Season 2, Episode 3 review of 1923.